Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Sister Wives with Mary Jane Kay. Happy Veterans Day to everyone, and I thank everyone who served for their sacrifice in serving our wonderful country. Today, I'll be giving my commentary on Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 9, Baptism by Fire. The episode opens with Mary. Janelle is meeting Mary at her house, and Mary explains how she and Janelle aren't super close. They don't hate each other. Mary doesn't hate Janelle. Janelle doesn't hold a grudge towards Mary, but they were just never close. Now, Janelle feels that there is going to be a lot of trouble with getting the property paid off. So she's going to be meeting Mary at her house in order to discuss it. Janelle knows Mary is a very capable adult, but it plagues Janelle's conscience that this might not be fair for Mary with settling the land. So for the sake of her own conscience, Janelle is visiting Mary to alert Mary about Coyote Pass and the deadline. She wants Mary to be aware. She wants Mary to know if they don't pay, they could lose everything. Janelle knows that Mary wasn't too invested. She wasn't too aware of the family finances when they were all working together as one big family. So Janelle really wants to give the heads up to Mary. She wants Mary to know what's up so she can rest easy. She's very concerned about Mary getting her fair share. And I really think this says a lot about Janelle's wonderful character, that despite the fractured relationship between she and Mary and all the bad blood in the past history, Janelle still went out of her way to see Mary in her house, even though it's awkward, to give her a heads up about the financial situation they're in. Now, Janelle has said many times that she really wanted to try and make sure that Mary got her fair share when it came to the land and resolving this. And she also made it clear that many times she felt Cody was unfair to Mary throughout their relationship. So even though Janelle herself isn't Mary's biggest fan, Janelle will always stand for what is right regardless. And she's putting herself in an awkward situation going to Mary's house, but she's doing it for Mary's sake. Now, we heard Cody say a season or two ago that he felt Janelle wasn't very loyal. He complained that Christine and Janelle weren't good sister wives. But, even though she isn't fond of Mary, she is being loyal as fuck to her by keeping her informed about this. When she knows Cody may not be keeping Mary informed. Cody may be keeping Mary out of the loop intentionally to try and keep as much money as he can. Now, Janelle knows this is going to be very awkward, and of course it is. Mary knows this isn't a social visit, but Mary doesn't seem overly concerned about the land. Over at Robin's, Cody is bitching about the snow. He's plowing snow, and he explains that he and Robin have a huge property. They have 8 feet of snow. There's tons of snow. So Cody gets all of Robin's kids gathered to unbury his truck. And Cody says he plans on having fun. He's using this as a bonding moment with Robin's kids. He jokes with Robin's kids. They're all laughing. But then Ariella hit Cody's truck with snow. And Cody has to remind himself not to get angry. He says he knows that it's not going to be fun for his kids if he gets angry. So he tries his best to hold his tongue so that his kids can enjoy his company. So when Janelle gets to Mary, she sees there's not that much in her house. So Mary lets Janelle know she's giving stuff away. She's moving. Janelle seems kind of taken aback by this. She congratulates Mary. Mary says that it's weird. Since she and Cody are done, she hasn't really been in the loop about where Cody stands with Janelle, for example. So Janelle, of course, thinks it's about damn time that Mary moves on. She's happy for Mary. And Janelle points out that Mary is loyal to a fault, like the loyal dog who just keeps coming back no matter what. And Janelle makes it clear Mary is no dog, but she has that type of loyalty, that unfailing, unyielding loyalty. And Janelle says finally Mary reached her end. Janelle lets Mary know that she's free now. She and Cody have officially said it's not working. They're done. And Janelle knows she needs something different. So Mary asks Janelle if she's happy, and Janelle says she is at peace. And Mary says she's doing all right. She's plodding through this, but it feels very weird for her. It feels very new. Janelle points out that it might be weird, it might feel weird right now, but weird doesn't have to necessarily mean bad. Mary wishes things were different. Mary wishes things in the family went differently. And of course, Janelle feels the same way. Now, Mary says it's really sad that after all of this time and effort that they put into this family, into these marriages, that it didn't work out in the end. And Janelle wishes, of course, that they could have held it together, at least for the kids' sakes. Janelle feels it's really sad and it's heartbreaking how Cody is estranged from his kids. And of course, she wishes things were different with the kids. Now, Mary always suspected that Janelle and Cody would split, but she still feels it's sad. Mary doesn't think that she or Janelle or Christine came into this family or into these marriages ever thinking that this is where they would end up. And she's positive that now they'll move forward and things will work out for all of them. So Janelle gets down to business. She tells Mary she came here to discuss Coyote Pass. The note is due in 75 days, and if they don't pay, the owner can repossess the whole thing. Even what they've already paid off, they will lose it all. Mary doesn't seem worried at all. She is not worried, not one bit. And Janelle looks frustrated. She explains to Mary that she has talked to Cody for years about paying the land off, and he keeps putting it off. He keeps telling her he just doesn't have the money. So Mary says she knows they've had other pressing bills that they needed to cover first. Now, Janelle feels there would have been more money to pay off the land if they prioritized paying off the land. And Janelle has mentioned in the past, Cody buying luxury items they don't need, Cody buying watches, Cody buying art, Cody buying this, Cody buying that. So there's all of this extra spending when they could have easily paid off the land and prioritized it. Mary says she was under the impression for years that Janelle was the one taking care of all the family finances. And Janelle makes it clear, of course, she contributed her paycheck, but she wasn't taking care of all the family finances. She was the bookkeeper, and she may have tried to advise Cody, but Cody in the end had the final say with all the family money. Now, Janelle is now realizing that Cody has been telling everybody for years that she was the one controlling all of the money in the family. And she points out if she were the one controlling the money, they would have been in a very different position now. Janelle advises Mary that she should protect her interests. She should protect what she is entitled to. And Janelle points out that would be a quarter of everything. Mary says in the next few months, they need to pay off the land. But she really doesn't think there is any need for any type of protection, for any type of worry. Mary seems to be blindly trusting Cody. For what reason, we'll never know. It's not very smart. Now, Mary asks Janelle, don't you think we have each other's back as far as that goes, as far as the money goes and the finances? And Janelle just answers no, very bluntly. Now, Mary wonders about this. She thinks about this, and she wonders, would Cody and Robin really go into this thinking maybe they would get ahead of all of them, maybe they would get a hold and get all of the property? Mary doesn't think that Cody or Robin would ever screw them over, but Janelle doesn't believe that they aren't capable of that. Janelle believes there's a good potential they're going to get screwed. Now, Mary flat out asks Janelle, do you have my back? And Janelle tells her she's going to watch out for her, but she really wants to make sure that Mary gets this. And she tells Mary this 1/4 of the land that she's owed, this will end up being her entire estate that she leaves with. And Janelle tells Mary she should open her eyes. She should be very aware of what's going on. Mary acts confused, and she asks Janelle to tell her what's going on. She looks very nonplussed. She's very confused. She doesn't know what's going on. So Janelle tells Mary that she is only on one piece of land and she is on one piece, sharing that piece with Cody and Janelle. Mary's impression was that she and Janelle and Cody are on another piece and that she's on a piece. She doesn't really know what's going on. So Janelle explains to Mary that she is on none of the other pieces alone or just with Cody. She is only on one piece, and she has a third of one of the pieces of 1/4 of the property because her name is only listed on one section of the 4 plots along with Janelle and Cody. Janelle points out that Mary is entitled to 1/4 of the value of the property, but since her name is only on one piece of the 4 pieces of property along with Cody and Janelle, Janelle isn't sure that Cody's going to do the right thing. So Janelle is letting Mary know she's entitled to a quarter and she is paying the equivalent of 1/4 of the property, while her name is only on one parcel and on that one parcel along with Cody and Janelle. So Janelle is very concerned because one piece is going to Cody and Janelle, the second is going to Cody and Robin, one is going to Cody and Janelle and Mary, and the other one is going to Cody and Robin. So Janelle knows Mary is getting screwed because the only piece she is on, Janelle and Cody are on too. And she's really trying to desperately open Mary's eyes. And Janelle explains if worse comes to worse, the land will be sold and Mary won't get a quarter. And that's what she should be entitled to. That's what she paid for. Janelle tells Mary to make sure what she is getting is fair. And Janelle says, Mary might be right. It might be smooth sailing, but she doesn't trust it. She really isn't sure. She can't trust Cody to do the right thing. So Mary tells Janelle she would assume if she and Janelle and Cody and Robin got together and they all put money in, they could just pay off the land. And Janelle agrees, but she points out Cody has been telling her he just doesn't have the money. Now, Mary says she knows Cody. She's known him a long time, and Cody has always been very creative in financial situations. Mary adds that when you have a really big family, you have to be creative financially. You get yourself in a situation where sometimes you just have to rob Peter to pay Paul. And then Mary justifies it saying she gets that everybody does that sometimes. I feel like Mary knows Cody is shady as fuck. She knows Cody could potentially be very unfair financially. And I think she's just justifying this, saying, oh, everybody does this sometimes, just in the hopes that if she doesn't badmouth Cody too much, that Cody will treat her fairly, just because in this moment they seem to be on good terms for the moment. Mary doesn't seem to want to trouble herself with this. She doesn't seem to care too much, and I think she should, and I think she should be more invested in this. Otherwise, she's really going to get shafted. It's foolish to just hope that Cody will just do the right thing. Financially, Mary is already responsible for a quarter, but she is on one plot of the 4 parcels with 2 other names on that parcel of land. She isn't going to get her fair share unless she advocates for herself and fights. And Mary seems very willing to just trust Cody, leave it to Cody, and she might be willing to let Cody screw her. Maybe she really just wants to be done and her mind is already in Utah looking forward to her new life. Mary has the inn, she has a home, she has businesses, and she has 1 kid, whereas Janelle has 6 kids to look out for. I think Janelle is much more aware of the stakes than Mary, and Janelle was very involved with the bookkeeping and the financial side, and Mary wasn't very involved in that aspect, so she doesn't understand how high the stakes are necessarily. Mary says she feels like everybody in the family has a different opinion about the other person and about what has been happening with the finances in the family. Mary doesn't know what to believe. Mary doesn't know what's true. She says she isn't taking sides, she isn't joining the ex-wives club, and she isn't joining the Cody and Robin club. No one's pushing her to join a club, but she should look out for her own financial interests. Doesn't she want to look out for Leo and what's left to Leo one day? Now, Janelle says they'd have to all come together to pay off this land. Janelle's concerned. Mary isn't concerned about it. And Janelle thinks that Mary just assumes that Cody will take care of her. And Mary says she doesn't expect Cody to take care of her, but she expects Cody to be a gentleman. Mary's being stupid. There's really no other way to say it. Cody has been cruel. Cody has drugged Mary through the mud season after season. Cody is no gentleman, and he's shown it. And she's still expecting better of him than what he's going to be capable of. Mary feels that she and Janelle are entitled to some of the property as well. And she expects Cody to be fair with all of them. She expects Cody to be a gentleman about this. And Janelle feels at this point, after talking to Mary and feeling like she's in the twilight zone, like she better just protect herself. And Mary is really sorry that Janelle feels she has to protect herself. Janelle explains that this is logical. It's logical to protect yourself. And Janelle is very uncomfortable. This is very awkward for her. And Janelle doesn't know at this point if she can trust Mary. Janelle doesn't know if Mary might not just go right back and report this all back to Cody, that Janelle came over to have this conversation with her. Listen, I admire what Janelle did so much. Janelle did her best to look out for Mary. I found that to be just so admirable. And now Janelle needs to really look out for herself. Let Mary do whatever the fuck she wants. If Mary gets screwed, that's on her. Back in Salt Lake City, Christine is sick of living separately from David. So they're going to go house shopping. They're going to move in together permanently. They're buying a home together. David says he knew on his second date with Christine that he wanted to marry Christine. And he says his dad met his mom, and 7 days later, he asked to marry her, and things went wonderfully. David knows Christine is the one, and he feels in comparison to how his father did, they are moving much slower. Christine wants to learn all of David's daily habits. She doesn't know that yet. She loves that it's all going to be fresh and new. Yeah, it's fresh and new till it's suffocating. You never really know a person until you live with them. You don't know them, all their bad habits, all their good habits, how they are mask on, how they are mask off, how they are in stress, how they are in sickness. You're going to know it all once you live with a person. That's the only way you really get to know them. Now, David says they both knew they wanted to do this. They both knew they were right for each other, and they didn't feel it was too fast. They are both very secure in this, and they are both sure. Christine explains that in her home, she gave Cody most of her closet. Cody had a lot of stuff. David, in comparison, has a very small closet. Most guys have less clothes like David, but the only thing David has a lot of are hoodies. He has tons of hoodies. But Cody was a prima donna, and he needed most of his wife's closet space. Christine remembers how it was living with Cody, and she explains how in Vegas, she did everything on her own with building the house. She picked out everything alone. With David, they're doing everything together with the house shopping. They're picking everything together. It's not up to her alone. They have to have a discussion about everything. They decide everything together. It's not just her decision like it was in the past. David admits that 5 or 6 weeks into the relationship, they talked about living together. And he says he's the kind of guy, if Christine suggests something, he's not going to procrastinate. He moves on it. He goes at Christine's speed. So Christine says with Cody, she doesn't even think that he was there when they were picking out the colors for the house, for the interiors, for the exteriors. Cody wasn't very involved. And Cody says it's not true. Cody says Christine likes to complain that he didn't ever do anything with her house. Christine says in her home in Vegas, as far as what she got, how she decorated, how she did things, Cody really didn't care that much what she chose. Now, Cody disagrees. He says he was very involved in his house in Vegas. He was involved with the design, with the layout, and he says he and Christine, and he uses the word honestly, which leads me to believe this is deceptive because he's trying to convince us, that they had lots of fun together, picking out where they would live and nesting together. When Cody says these things, he says it with no conviction, as if he feels he has to say it, and it's not true, just empty words. It's funny how with all of that filming over the seasons, we really don't see any scenes of Cody nesting with Christine, helping cozy up the house, picking things. Cody doesn't even look like he himself believes the words that are coming out of his mouth when he says them. He just says them to say them. Now, Christine says she found out much later how much Cody was involved and invested in Robin's home. They picked everything together. They planned everything together. Christine admits it's like she and Cody weren't ever a couple. She did everything alone. Imagine what a breath of fresh air David is for Christine. She has someone she can share herself with, share her life with, who values her as an equal, who she can do this with, and she doesn't have to be alone. Imagine how peaceful and refreshing and good that feels for Christine. Good for her. I am so happy for her that she found David, and I really hope he's the right guy for her. Christine and David, they're still on a hunt for a home. They looked at a few. They haven't found the perfect one. So they are figuring out what they want together, and they're combining 2 lives into one. Christine can't believe that they're already moving in together. But for her, it just doesn't seem too fast because she says They hit their own flow. Their flow goes quickly, and they are both sure. Christine said she has had some definite cutting ties moments where she knew she was moving on, like when she decided to move, when she decided to sell her house, when she decided to date. It was all moving on, and it was all one more step away from the life she used to live, one more step away from polygamy and into entering monogamy, into entering such a secure life. And Christine hopes that whatever happiness looks like and whatever peace looks like for Mary and Janelle, she hopes Mary and Janelle move on however they want to move on. And she hopes they move on with however their futures look, and that they have that same happiness and that same security and that same peace with whatever happiness looks like for them. Next, Christine and David are heading to Flagstaff for Gwen's engagement party. She and David are going to be renting a home to host a get-together so that David can meet all of Janelle's kids. Cody and Robin weren't supposed to come to the bridal shower, but at the last minute, when they find out David's coming, of course, they show up, and Mary is also invited to the event. Janelle can't make it because Maddie is giving birth, but her kids are all going to be there to meet David and to see Christine. And Christine is over the moon to introduce David to all of the kids and to everyone. All the Browns who live in Utah make the 8-hour car drive together in one car. And Isabel felt that that was a really good experience for David to really get to know them better one-on-one. David had a great time, and he's really nervous. He knows how much Janelle's kids mean to Christine, and he's nervous to meet them. Aspen is really excited to stay together at this rental in Flagstaff to really have this opportunity to really get to know David. Because, of course, all the kids are apprehensive that it's moving so quickly. Janelle and the kids are there to greet Christine and David so warmly, and Christine is just beaming. She is so proud to introduce David. It's adorable to see. Now, Aspen says she feels really rushed now to get to know David because things are going so quickly. Gwen and Bea are getting engaged. Gwen came out to the family, and they already all knew that Gwen was attracted to both sexes, but to see her in love, to see her comfortable, to see her with Bea, to see her happy, Christine is just happy for her daughter. And she says they're cute together, and it's a relief when your child finds their person. Cody adds that he's good with Gwen marrying a woman. He says she came out. She said she was bisexual. He felt God told him he's the one who judges and Cody should just love. And Cody says that's just how he tries to live. He's just going to love. He's not going to judge. David's explaining how he met Christine. He signed up for a dating site. His membership expired. He got a message from Christine, and he had to sign back up to get back and respond back to Christine. And he says he spent the best $60 of his life signing up again to get to respond to Christine. Christine messaged David first. Gabe seems really happy for Christine. Christine is beaming while she's talking to him, explaining how for their second date, David took her to see The Little Mermaid. Janelle says David has met her kids and she knows that it's very serious. And she knows Gwen had this bridal shower, but Maddie's baby was coming. So Janelle had an emergency. She had to head to Maddie's side. She had to miss Gwen's bridal shower engagement party. So we learned David, of course, is 9 years older than Christine. And Aspen says David seems like a great guy. She likes David except for the rushing things, but she feels she could deal with it. Janelle says Christine has always been very romantic. She's wanted fairy tales. She's wanted this happily ever after. And Janelle is so happy to see Christine getting that. So at first, Cody and Robin weren't coming to the bridal shower. They declined. They weren't going to make it. But now, after Cody learned that David was coming to the bridal shower, he decided to attend even though he said he wasn't coming. So suddenly now, Cody and Robin are coming because David will be there. And Christine is now nervous. She feels them coming adds another level of complication. It kind of puts a little cloud over the whole engagement party because Cody and Robin have decided to show up and hijack this. Robin says they were invited and they're coming, And Cody says even though they weren't going, the morning of the bridal shower, one of his kids, probably McKelty, told him David, Christine's new man, was going to be there. So at that point, he and Robin decided they definitely would be attending. Christine knows at this point that it'll be awkward because this is the first time they will all be together as a family after she left the family. And Christine hasn't seen Mary or Cody or Robin in a very long time. So they're all going to be right in each other's faces. It's a cramped space. There is no way to avoid each other. And David's going to be there too, on top of everything. So Mary says Cody had mentioned to her that the guy Christine is dating is going to be at this party. Robin says she doesn't know anything about David, the guy with Christine. Robin says she knows absolutely nothing about Christine's dating life. Christine is mad and she's frustrated because this is supposed to be Gwen's day. Cody and Robin declined their invite. And now the focus is going to be on Cody and Robin, and it makes it completely ridiculously complicated. Nobody was expecting this. It kind of puts a cloud and some nervousness and apprehension on the whole event when it's supposed to be fun and light and all about Gwen. Mary walked in first. She says she took ownership of being a single person and she wasn't going to walk behind Cody or Robin. She wasn't going to go putzing behind Cody or Robin. So she walked in first. And Robin says they walked in and it was shocking for her to see David and Christine. And she thinks they will each just stay on their sides and not bother them. Cody feels that it feels like they are all familiar strangers as he's walking in. Cody can't imagine that for he and Robin, this is going to be a pleasant experience at all. Why would Cody go there? Why is Cody going there except to be nosy? And in his mind, he thinks he's marking his territory and like he's going to intimidate David and Christine or make the man uncomfortable. In my opinion, Cody doesn't like another man being there while he isn't there. He's the father and he's not there. And David, Christine's new man, is showing up there. So now Cody's insisting on showing up, even though he didn't plan to, just to make everyone there uncomfortable because he's a dick. Cody's there to check David. Cody wants to see David. So Aspen gives a little more insight with the relationship with her father. She says she saw her dad recently a few weeks ago, that it's hard to stay close to people when you don't live close by. She says she's working on it, but things have seemed more sectioned off and divided since her mom left. And Aspen says it's really sad, and she knows it's on herself and it's on her father to repair that and to work on things. It's also on her dad to make the effort too. It's not only on Aspen. Now, Robin is very shocked. There's a tattoo artist there. People are getting tattoos at this party. And she obviously isn't interested. She thinks it's beneath her. She's an idiot. Now, Cody says 20 years ago that when Gwen was a baby, he never imagined he would be at a tattoo party for an engagement party. Gwen is getting a tattoo. Her fiance is getting a tattoo. Not matching tattoos, though. Cody says he doesn't have a problem with people having tattoos. He has a tattoo phobia. Christine explains that Cody has always hated tattoos. They physically repulsed him, just like the nachos do, apparently. Now, Cody wonders now, since he's in a monogamous relationship, he does consider possibly getting a tattoo ring to symbolize his love with Robin. Mary doesn't have any tattoos. She just has microbladed eyebrows. That's it. Christine says she wanted the opposite of Cody. She always wanted someone bald. She likes tattoos all tatted up with a motorcycle. And then she met David. David ticks all her boxes. Mary explains that this party is for Gwen. It's for Bea. And she hopes that they can all just be good and have good vibes and no weirdness. Mary knows that she and Christine aren't the best of friends. So she and Christine talking to each other cordially at this party is them really both being on their best behavior. Christine is really very warm to Mary, even though Mary isn't exactly a safe place for her. Christine introduces Mary to David, and Mary says it's the first time she's met David, and she feels that David was very nervous at the shower. Christine admits She's the one, she stalked David online. And of course, Mary makes a catfish joke. She says that Christine should be careful about talking to people online. Of course, she's referencing her catfish sitch. Mary thinks the process of their family separating and now Christine dating is very weird. Everything feels new, everything feels different, everything feels awkward. Mary points out she has only ever seen Christine with Cody ever. She thinks if Janelle ever dates or when she ever dates, it'll feel the same, it'll feel weird, it'll feel different. Mary plans on dating sometime in the future, and when she does, she knows that that will be another step in the difference in this family structure, another step away from the family. Christine and David, of course, got matching tattoos, not at Gwendolyn's party at another time, but they got matching tattoos to represent new beginnings in Celtic. Christine shows us her tattoo. It's over her heart. She loves it. And David has the same tattoo. It's very elegant. At least she didn't get his name in case it doesn't work out. You can always get it lasered off, though. He also has other tattoos, David. Now, Mary asks Christine if she knows about her divorce. And Christine says yes, and she gives Mary this huge embrace. And Christine tells Mary she loves her. Mary tells Christine she loves her. And despite the troubles in their past, this moment between Mary and Christine, it felt very genuine. It felt very real. I think now that the women are free from Cody, they might just get closer. They're the only ones who went through the trauma and the stress of being married to a man like Cody. So I think these women will always have that common thread that binds them. They raise kids together. They raise this family together. They will always be bound in some way, even without Cody. Christine assures Mary it is better on the other side. It's much better. Mary hesitates. She liked where she was before. She never anticipated being divorced from Cody. And Christine tells her it's infinitely better. It's so much better. Just go with it. But Mary's in a different place. Mary is still adjusting to being in a place she never thought she would be, divorced from Cody. Christine really isn't sure what's happening with Mary and Cody. Christine loves being divorced, and she knows Mary doesn't feel that way. She doesn't think Mary likes it as much. She doesn't think Mary is happy being divorced. Christine thinks at this point Mary is still adjusting to her new normal, and Mary still hopes, she wishes that it would have worked out with Cody, and she's still mourning that. Now, Mary recognizes that Christine is trying to cheer her on. She appreciates it, but Mary says she and Christine, they're not close. They don't have that type of relationship where she really feels comfortable opening up to her. This is still new for Mary. Mary has a lot to process. And Mary admits she isn't in that place where she feels like she is in a place where it's better on the other side. She's still learning what that other side is. She still doesn't feel that it's better yet. Now, Aspen likes this family together. She likes everyone being loud, being in each other's lives all the time. And she is so happy that everyone's there and that Gwen's shower engagement party is going smoothly. Christine admits when she first got married, she never saw herself at an engagement party for her daughter, who was marrying a woman, getting tattooed at the engagement party, while also introducing her new boyfriend to her ex-husband, who she used to live in polygamy with her other sister wives who are also mostly there. This isn't how she ever pictured this would be in her mind. So it's very different than what she thought. Cody must have overheard that Christine and David got matching tattoos, because Cody very loudly says that he thinks matching tattoos are cheesy. It's really awkward. He's saying this to Gwen and Bea, her fiance. And Cody says there's a space that he is in with his family as a whole, where he is now much more cautious with everyone. Cody says he is here with his shy, pretty wife. He says Robin is shy, Robin is pretty, his one pretty wife, and he again says she is shy. Listen, Robin is a master manipulator. She isn't shy. But Cody says he has his one pretty shy wife, but Robin isn't shy with him. Robin's just a shy, meek, master manipulator, cap in hand. He says he and Robin just have such a special bond. Is it a special bond? Because Robin said she was losing respect for him. Mykelti tries to push Christine to introduce David to Cody. Cody didn't know what to expect. So Robin asks Cody, before they show up here, well, what if David is good looking? What if he's a hunk? And Cody says, well, Christine gets what she chooses. And he himself has a pretty wife. So he feels like he has a prize. This idiot thinks he won the jackpot. Wait until he gets thrown under the bus. Now, Robin says they saw Christine and David and they felt now is the time for the introduction, to introduce themselves to the boyfriend. And Robin says during this introduction, everyone at that party stared at them. Mykelti initiates the introduction. David, ever the gentleman, introduces himself. He's very cordial, shaking hands. He's all class. And Cody, of course, looks uncomfortable. He looks like his balls are shriveled. He has questions right away, like how long they've been dating, and it's been almost 2 months. And Cody asks David if he knows the kids. And Mykelti lets Cody know David even babysits her kids alone while she and her mom go out to do things. Like, for example, David babysat the kids while she and her mom went and got pedicures. Robin rolls her eyes. Cody looks pissed off. Is Cody even allowed to babysit the kids alone? I don't know. David already seems to be outdoing Cody. David mentions that he has 10 grandkids, he has 8 kids, and he has been around polygamy his whole life, so he knows what's up. He points out he raised 8 kids alone for the last 11 years. He had fun. He enjoys his kids. He loves a big family. He loves his grandkids. A big family with lots of kids doesn't intimidate him at all. He's here for it. David noticed how uncomfortable Cody was. David says the first thing Cody said was he heard that David was allowed to hold his grandkids. And David says Mykelti told Cody David did more than just hold them. He babysat them alone. And at that point, Cody got really red in the face, and he says Cody didn't like it. I'm sure Cody feels very jealous and threatened by a real man. Now, Cody found it interesting that David looked at Robin more. He made more eye contact with Robin than he did with him, and he talked to Robin more than he did to him. So Cody has interrogations for David. Cody asks how old David's oldest child is. His oldest kid is 34. Cody asks about the oldest grandkid. His oldest grandkid is 13. Robin smiles mischievously at Cody. They don't seem to like him very much. They're being fake to him. Now, as David tells Cody how much he really enjoys his grandkids, how he spends time with them, he has great relationships with them. Let's remember, Cody can't even bother to see his own grandkids. David raised his kids alone for a long time as a single father, and he has great relationships with all of them and great relationships with his grandkids. Having those relationships seems to really be a priority to David, which of course is much the opposite of Cody. Cody congratulates David. He's trying to be cordial, but it's awkward AF. Cody doesn't seem to like him. Now, of course, we all knew he's going to find issues with him. He may not say it, but you could tell he's very jealous of the guy. Cody looks constipated. His face looks really tight. He's getting really red. He's not feeling this. Aspen points out that if David and her mom stay together, if they get married, if they move in together like they plan to, then David's going to be a really big part of raising Truly, a big part of Truly's life. So Aspen thinks it's very important for David and her dad to meet and get along and see eye to eye, especially when it comes to Truly, since David will have a hand in raising her since he'll be around her in the home so much. Now, David says his grandkids are even more fun than his kids. And of course, Cody has to disagree. He says he has a 7-year-old and she is funner than all of his grandkids. Cody's grandkids don't even know him or recognize who he is. Last episode, Mykelti's daughter didn't even want to give Cody a hug. Maybe Cody's grandkids aren't fun with him because Cody doesn't spend enough time with them for them to even recognize him and who he is. That's on Cody to make the effort. David was widowed. David raised his kids alone for over a decade. He spends time with his kids. He has great relationships with his kids. He spends time with his grandkids. Maybe Cody could learn a lot from David. It's too bad his ego will get in the way. Of course, Robin has to make this all about herself and how she feels about David. And Robin says she spent the last how many years of her life seeing Christine with Cody, seeing them married. So this is really hard for her to see Christine happy with David. But she says she wants Christine to be happy through gritted teeth. Cody says he noticed Christine was very affectionate, swinging on David's arm, resting her head on his shoulder, and he thinks it's appropriate at this stage of their relationship, and he says nothing about that bothered him. If it didn't bother Cody, then Cody wouldn't even have noticed it, and he would never have mentioned it. Cody's mentioning it because it got all the way under his skin. Cody says David isn't just a boyfriend. He gets the vibe that there is something more there. Maybe they'll get married in a week. And Cody says it's not his business, but he hopes it works out for them. Robin says it's hard for her to even say Christine's boyfriend. David says when Christine was affectionate when she put her head on his shoulder, Cody got even redder in the face. Yeah, he looked even more constipated. He looks angry. Robin says it doesn't feel right to see Christine with David, but it isn't her place to judge Christine or to say that. Robin says what feels right for her, because of course we care what the fuck she thinks. No one gives a fuck, Robin. But what feels right for her is for Christine to be in their family. But she knows what she thinks doesn't matter. Ding, ding, ding. Now, Cody and David, they make small talk about bullshit about the snow. And Christine is being very affectionate with David. And Cody is sitting there and he looks more and more and more uncomfortable. Robin says there is a lot of concern. There are a lot of possible problems that can arise with this. And it's a new way of everyone coexisting with each other. Cody says it's a cringy moment where you just grit your teeth and you survive it. Christine wished that Gwen's engagement party would have been different. Cody says Gwen puts on a brave face, and she is very proud of Gwen for letting Cody and Robin come, and they did the best they could with this surprise hijacking of the party in the end. Everyone had a good time. She's proud of the way Gwen handled it, even though she wasn't thinking Cody was going to come. Cody came, he hijacked everything, and Gwen put on a brave face. Cody said, at the end of the day, Cody's the father. Cody needed to be there for his daughter. He came. And Christine doesn't feel like this was a test for David. Cody may have felt it was a test, but Christine says David's solid. Cody showing up out of nowhere. It's not going to make David go away. It's not take it or leave it for David. David is still here. He's staying. They're still looking for houses. He's still going to propose. They are still getting married. Of course, we know they're married now. And Cody and Robin aren't invited to that wedding. Christine says, hell no, they're not invited. That does it for this episode. I'll be back next week with the next episode of Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 10, A Man After My Own Heart, where we get to watch David pop the question and Isabel shares her emotional pain, shedding tears over the fear of losing her father with her mom now marrying David. This is seriously heart-wrenching to watch. We see Cody's kids hurting. We see Cody's ex-wives hurting for their kids' pain regarding their father. And as usual, Cody only cares about himself. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.